When you start working in a new team, you're so much excited because everyone are so helpful. It's like honeymoon time. Everything is good. But things can change. Maybe after a few months, you will have difference of opinion with the team members, your colleagues. You may be telling certain positive things, which is really positive to you, but it may not be positive to the other person. That could be the reason for a conflict because we are not intentionally creating any problem because we are all good. That's our basic character, everyone. But these things are due to our difference in personality because in a team, people are from very different background, different ideologies, and their culture, all those aspects. That could be the probable reason for this kind of difference of opinion. My manager used to tell me, in an organization, positive conflicts are really good because it takes the organization to the next level. But in ideal case, say 80% of the time, it's not positive conflicts. You may have issues, maybe based on certain feelings and all those things with the team member and the other way around as well. These negative conflicts can really impact the organization and especially to your career. But when you start working in a team, if you're able to identify each one of the team members' personality and act accordingly, I don't try to use the word act, maybe behave accordingly, these kind of issues may not happen and you will have a smooth sail there. It may be good for your career in that organization because you are good to everyone, you are doing your job, you are not creating any conflicts or you are not a part of the conflicts, correct? But where is that magic tool? How you are able to understand the other teammate? This is Gokul and welcome to Techysaint.
So yes, there is a tool available, and today in this video we are going to talk about insight discovery model. How you can identify someone's personality through insight discovery by checking out their colors. Earlier I mentioned about the business use case, but this is applicable in your personal life as well. To identify the personality, we have a model called insight model. It's invented by the psychologist Carl Jung, and he suggests that each people in an organization are unique with very different styles, needs, and expectations. Let's go further. According to this model, each one of us will be derived out of these four colors. There are four colors: cool blue, fairy red, sunshine yellow, and earth green. All of us will belong to one category, or we will have a major attribute of one of this color. I will talk about the derived personality types later in this video. This does not mean that one color is good, the other personality type is bad. No. As you can see, here we have the cool blue and the sunshine yellow. The communication between these two people or these two categories will be very difficult. Similarly, here as well. I can tell you one story from my own experience. I belong to the yellow group, which I know very well. A few years back, I was working with a manager who is from a blue side. His major attributes were from the blue side. The main characteristics of the blue is that they are very analytical. They really work on facts and figures. And the yellow ones are opposite. They don't have any facts and figures. They make sudden decisions. They are hurry-burry. Of course, they have some other qualities as well. So coming back to my story, I was working as a lead there. So I was supposed to prepare a project estimation, and I have been invited by my manager to explain the estimation. I went to this meeting without much preparation. I had an overview. That's it. And he was very angry with me because he was expecting facts, figures, a plan, a roadmap, and everything which I was not prepared at all. Then I realized the importance of this understanding the personality type when you are talking to someone. so that you will have successful interactions with the other people. From there onwards, whenever I go to this manager, I always try to get as much information. I get prepared myself. Maybe I will be, thinking about the questions he may ask, and I will prepare with the answers. Then onwards, my meetings were very smooth, and I'm sure that by practicing this model, you will also achieve the same. Let's go in deeper. I will try to explain more about each color and the derived personality types. Okay, so the first one is blue. I already gave an overview about the blue personality. The blue, cool blue, they are very analytical people. I try to put the common characteristics, extra tips, and a particular example. Suppose if you are a leader and you are doing a performance review with a cool blue person. So he is reporting to you and he is blue. And you need to convey some underperformance message that he was not up to the mark. So he has some areas to improve. That's the context. So I will be covering this context in all the colors. Yeah. But before going there, let's talk about the characteristics. The cool blue people appears to be very formal and conservative. They wants to be always correct because they spend that much time in analysis. Their primary focus is problem solving with the proper analysis. And if you are approaching them, they expect you to be precise and sharp. They don't like vague things. And they are afraid of embarrassment. And they easily can get irritated, like my manager in my first example, by carelessness and vagueness. In my case, it was rather vagueness. I was very careful. I had an overview. I did my own ways of analysis, but the information I gave was quite vague. So these blue people are really getting irritated by carelessness and vagueness. And of course, we all will go through sometimes the firefighting situation. That time, usually these people will try to withdraw themselves from the scene. That's a common characteristics we have noticed. And their decisions are very logical and deliberate because of their preparation. On a good day, these people are cautious, sharp, careful, and unhurried. Of course, these people have never been hurried up in anything. And they will ask a lot of questions and they are very formal on a good day. But when it comes to a bad day, they are reluctant to new ideas. They won't be that much fascinated by new ideas and they will not make any decisions because they are afraid of volatile situations. And they will not trust you. Suppose if you are approaching them on a bad day, they will really do analysis and they will not show the trust and they will be a bit reserved those days. So coming back to our engagement. So when you are talking to someone, you need to prepare, you need to think about the environment and you need to define the communication style. That's what I'm trying to do it here in this column. So as I mentioned, the context is performance review. The reporting is from a cool blue personality. First of all, as a leader, you need to be well prepared with the facts and figures. And you need to have clear-cut evidence to claim the underperformance. You cannot say in a vague way that, okay, from past 1 year, you are not performing, you are not up to the mark. They expect you to tell the situations. Maybe you need to be very precise. You can say that with the customer X was expecting this from you, but your performance was not up to the mark and I have got a feedback. That's why your current appraisal rating is low. Before setting the meeting, it will be a good idea to set an agenda with all the information so that they know the context. The environment for this meeting, it must be very formal. You can maybe set up a meeting room. You can ensure that you only both are there, because these people are very conservative people. They don't like someone else there. So make sure that this meeting is very private. Maybe you don't need to even call your boss if you need to, but still you should try to avoid it. It should be a one-to-one discussion. And the communication style. You should present the facts and figures in an order and in appropriate time. These people need some time to analyze. So you need to give some time to them. They need to understand what you are trying to convey and put the facts accordingly. So that's all about this cool blue people. As my channel is talking more about the software engineering, maybe I can be very specific to one of the job type. Cool blue people, from my experience, I have seen a lot of system architects or software architects. Whoever worked with me was mostly from this blue side, or they were having more blue than any other color, and they were quite good in that job. Now let's go to the fairy red. These people are very like directors in a software company. They could be domain directors or project leads. They appears to be very businesslike, functional. They want to make an impact. They wants to be in control of everything. They really likes control, power. Their primary focus is result. They are really result driven. Sometimes these people are called as drivers as well in a team. When you're approaching these people, you need to ensure that you have a brief information. You should not be that much detail oriented like cool blue. The fairy red does not like the details. They need to know everything in short, a brief information, a summary. And they are really afraid of losing control. They cannot sustain after losing control. They can be irritated by inefficiency in decision. As I mentioned, they are the result-driven people, drivers. Suppose if there are some inefficient team member, they will get really irritated. When there is a pressure, they will try to be a dictator. That's a big problem. I have noticed sometimes they really try to go to a bossy mode where they tell that whatever I'm trying to tell is the right one. They will not listen to anyone's ideas. They will push the team or push anyone to do or follow his ideas. That's a problem, especially in a team. But their qualities, decisions are very pragmatic decisions. On a good day, they will be very competitive, demanding, determined, strong willpower, make an impact. As a leader, those are very good qualities. But on a bad day, that will go to the next level. It will become, the aggressiveness, the bossiness, and they may try to drive in a very unpleasant way. That's what I meant by dictatorship. And they have zero tolerance. And the same exercise of engagement, performance review. The preparation here must be, you need to have clear objectives, what you are trying to achieve with this meeting. And you can maybe clearly brief the areas to improve, especially in this underperformance case. and you can share the message, or you need to have at least the overview. And the environment will be very similar to the cool blue people, very formal and business-like. And the communication, these people don't like sugar-coated words, because you are trying to convey bad news that okay, they need to improve the performance. You can be very direct here. You don't need to really sugarcoat. One important point is that you need to really challenge them by connecting their performance to the success criteria, because they are really result driven people. So link the performance to their success. That will get really inspired for them, so that you can get the best out of them in the next appraisal year. As I mentioned earlier, the in a software company, I have noticed directors, project leads with more reddish in their personality, and that's sometimes really useful as well to get the end result. Let's go to the other color, sunshine yellow. I belong to this category where I have more yellowish than, say, my second color is red, but my primary color is yellow. And whatever is written is almost true in my case as well. Their characteristics, I mean, these people are like very like sales people, or they can be good in talking to the customer. In a software environment, they could be like in an agile environment, product owners. Yeah, they appears to be very informal and outgoing. They wants to be admired because they are like people's person. Their primary focus is on interaction, and they likes engaging conversation. That's another problem when they communicate with the blue people, because blue people are very conservative, and yellow people don't like that because they want more engaging conversations. They fears the disapproval of team, maybe. They can be irritated by rules and routines. They don't like to do the same thing again and again. They don't like to follow the rules. Under pressure, they really try to overreact and dramatize the situation. That's a problem. And their decisions are spontaneous. Extra tips, I mean, on a good day, they are very sociable, dynamic, demonstrative, more enthusiastic, able to convince his ideas. But on a bad day, they really get into a hurry-burry mode. First of all, they don't like rules and routines, and on a bad day, they will go to hurry-burry mode, and they easily get excited. Sometimes they cannot keep secrets, especially on a business environment. Certain level of transparency and certain level of secrets you need to keep. A bad day, they may break that. And they are sometimes overconfident as well. And if you're doing a performance review, compared to red and blue, this is totally different. As a manager, you may need to, I mean, in the other blue and red, you may need to set up a meeting for 1 hour. In this case, you may need to set up 2 hours, because yellow people will be talking very much more than you. They like to talk. So allow them to talk, and maybe you can explain some examples for the underperformance as evidences. And when you explain these underperformance reasons by examples, they really accept it. Environment. Instead of setting up a meeting in a business meeting room, they prefer to have meetings in a coffee shop or over a beer. And their communication. Maybe you need to frame this issue with a wider picture and explain them through stories. You need to be very careful here. You cannot or you shall not project this underperformance as a blame, because these people will really go out of energy if they face blame, as they want to be They fear the disapproval. They don't like to be disapproved. So the underperformance need to be conveyed in a different way through some humor and of course acknowledge his uh, achievements. That's all about yellow. And the green, very opposite to red. And that's why, similar to the yellow and blue, mostly there are big chance for green and red to have conflicts. The green common characteristics are they are casual and conforming. In an organization, what I noticed that the green people are really good in human resources department. They are like amiables. They wants to be liked. Their primary focus is to maintain harmony. And when you communicate to them, talk to them nicely, talk to them a bit about their personal life before you actually start talking about the business. They really like it. Ask him how about your cat and all those things. Then come to the business. But that's the problem when they talk to red, because red wants to know everything in brief and they don't like these small conversations. And that's why this conflict arises. They fears confrontation. They can be irritated by insensitivity and impatience. Under pressure, they will really feel overburdened or helpless. And their decisions are very similar to the blue one, very considered. They will take time to make decisions. Very opposite to yellow. On a good day, they are caring, encouraging, sharing, and patient with a relaxed mood. But on a bad day, they really go down. I mean, in terms of energy, they will really become slow. They may miss deadline. They expect others to help them because they are like no energy. And sometimes they easily accept the situation and easily, fail because they are afraid of confrontation on a bad day. And sometimes they are stubborn as well. That's all about the color characteristics. But as I mentioned, we cannot really divide the personalities based on these four, because we will have a major primary color, secondary color, tertiary color, like that. In my case, my primary color is yellow, secondary one is red. So I belong to a motivator category here. So out of these four, we derived 8 personalities. Suppose if a person has say 50% blue, 50% red, he's like a reformer here. The complete red one is director. Here he's the motivator. The complete complete yellow is inspirer. Here is the helper. Little blue and green, supporter, coordinator, and observer. So these are the 8 personality types. Of course, there are more things to discuss about it, but that's not the scope of this video. But there are a lot of resources available. I'll try to put as much resource in my description below. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I will try to come back to you with another interesting topic very soon. Till then, goodbye.